Welcome back to Featured on the Wireless. And today we have got the talented SM musician Lee Cole with us today. Welcome, and how are we doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm alive. I'm well. Had a late night last night finishing some stuff, but it's exciting. Things are happening, so I'm good. How are you, man?
Nah, I'm all good. You had a bit of a little bit of a busy week last week because Friday was a bit of an important day, right?
It
Yes,
was. It
no?
was. It was indeed. It was indeed. Finally, the my new single got released, which is great. Finally, releasing music again. So all round, we're in a good space.
And then well let's start right there. Your new song called Blind, just talk to us about it because I feel that's a nice way to get things going.
For sure. So it's my latest offering, and it's the first song of many songs that are still to come. Call it a project, call it an album. But it's great because I haven't released music for a year and a half. This is the first
Mhm.
time I've released music in that time, and taking this little hiatus to just write and let the ideas settle has been quite challenging and quite explorative. Like I've been trying
Mhm.
to explore a lot of my personality and a lot of what I want people to feel when they listen to my music. So Blind is the first of many offerings, like I said, and it's about vulnerability.
Okay, you mentioned that there was a little bit of a hiatus, a year and a half, but then at the beginning of last year, you sort of announced that stuff was coming, and then you pretty much vanished. Are you able to talk about where you went to? What happened?
Yeah, I just became a magician overnight. I thought to vanish would be a great time.
It's
Last year,
always
February was
good to have a side
a great
hustle.
time. Exactly. The kids' birthday parties, I'm busy doing card tricks. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
There we go.
But no, so I announced last year, and then due to a couple of things that I can't mention, I couldn't actually release music.
Hmm.
And a lot of people don't know that. So I I had to just keep people in the loop, and eventually, when I could, I then started planning everything, and that's how it kind of worked out. But it's been an awesome journey, and I think things have a funny way of working themselves out, and I think things happen the way they're exactly supposed to happen because
Yeah.
where I am right now and the songs that are yet to come, it's everything is getting ready for the big launch. So
Hmm. And then you went on tour towards the end of last year and also beginning of this
that's
year.
right.
And what you like to do with your shows, well, at least the ones I've been to, you'll maybe play one or two new songs that you haven't released yet, maybe just to see, what like the vibes are when it
Yeah,
comes to those songs. And the two
of
that you
course.
played at the show that I was at, so you played Blind, which of course has been released,
Mhm.
and then one called Mine. A little bit disappointed Mine wasn't the first one because that's when I heard that I was like, wow, that's going to be a good
Oh,
one.
awesome.
Can you talk to
Oh,
us
awesome.
about that particular one, Blind? Ugh, Mine, should I say?
Mine is just a fun. It's almost like a 1975 kind of track, with
Hmm.
guitars and ambient indie. It gives you that kind of like ambient indie vibe.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites, especially to do live. It's just got so much energy and it's so much
Hmm.
fun. And it's about falling in love. That's what that one's about. So all the songs that people are yet to hear, on the album and the entire project, every song is going to be about a particular human experience or a particular feeling, which I
Okay.
think is great because I want to write about the human experience. I want to write about what we all go through every day because that's how we connect, right? It's
Yeah.
through similarities to what we share on the daily. So yeah, that's that one mine. That's what that one in particular is about.
Mhm. And then talk to us about what exactly goes into a tour from planning where you're going to go to deciding what's going to be played and all the logistics that goes behind it. Because I would imagine it's not something you wake up one morning and say, we're just going to do this.
Yeah, look, no, tours take a lot of time to plan, like 3, 4 months, 5 months in advance to plan. Um, but yeah, it's accommodation, it's the venues, there's a lot of things to kind of plan out when you get started. So, but tour this time around was amazing. It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, you saw for yourself, it was really, really cool.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, tours is just always a vibe, man. It's you hit the road, you perform, you pack up, you hit the next city, you connect with people. You don't sleep much, you don't eat much salads. It's just burger, pizza. And it's just fun. It's good fun, and you get to do what you love, and you get to connect with people. So it's a
Yeah.
blessing.
And then after your shows, you like to, come out and engage with people that came to see, whether
Yeah.
just talking to them, photos, answering questions, etc. Is that just who you are as a person? You like to get to know people, or what's up?
Yeah, I would say that's definitely who I am. I think if you met me independently, like at a mall or on the street, or outside of my usual music setting, like a show or whatever, you'll see that that's just pretty much how I am. Very much an extrovert, and I love
Mhm.
to speak to people, to meet people, and to connect with people. So when I perform and after my shows, when I get to meet people, it's like just doing what I've always done. It's very natural to me.
And then let's go back to the beginning for anyone who maybe doesn't know. How did you become interested in music? Was it something you always wanted to do?
Yeah, I think it was something that I kind of always had a curiosity about, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And I was like 7 singing like Westlife songs, jumping around the kitchen, doing weird stuff, And then I just said to my mom, listen, like I wanna learn. And my mom was
Mhm.
like, okay, this kid's a bit young.
Yeah.
What does a 7-year-old know?
Yeah.
And at the age of 10, 3 years later, I persisted. I said, Mom, I really want to learn. And then my mom got me a vocal coach. And that's
Mhm.
when I started singing. It's when I started actually singing all the way. And yeah, then I think when I started writing music, which I was then 14 or 13,
Okay.
in that year, I think that's when everything changed for me. When I could create something
Yeah.
and I'm using my voice to create this song, this inner reflection of me, because that's essentially what a song is. It's a reflection of yourself.
Yeah.
Um, that's kind of when it grabbed me. And I just said to myself, yay, this is what I need to be doing. I need to be knuckling down, I need to start playing piano and teaching myself how to write and all these things. And that's how the journey started. So
And
it's been a long journey, and sometimes it's just a matter of persistence. I need those
yeah.
that sticks right through to the end, get to where they want to go.
No, of course, yes. And then you said that you started writing songs 13, 14. So that's obviously end of junior school into high school. Were you
Yeah.
like open with that to everyone there? Like, I write music or I write songs.
Yeah, I'll tell you where I was open. I think at the time, like especially at my school, uh, I mean, this is like back in 2009, 2010, when like I was really starting out to write and stuff like that. Give away my age here, but it was people in this. I didn't mind people knowing that I sang because it was rare to find somebody that sang at that time in my school. Anyway, it was
Okay.
like myself and another 2 or 3, maximum 4 people in the whole school that also sang.
Okay.
So eventually, like my school had like a grand piano in the hall, and at breaks, lunch breaks, I used to go and play. So people would hear me play. Then eventually, like people were like, oh, he's always playing piano, he must sing. And then it's like school fashion shows and talent shows and all these like shows. I would sing at these shows, and everyone would know, okay, that's Lee that sings. But
Yeah.
everyone from school that knows me personally knows they saw me from the beginning. They saw me playing piano in the hall at break time and stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was awesome back then.
And then talk to me about how the process goes where you decide what songs are going to be singles from, whether it's an album or just a project of songs you release.
It's the process is pretty much it's been the same the whole time since I've been releasing music. I write the song, I finish the song, and then I usually I test it out with a couple of close friends and close family members.
Hmm.
I then kind of gauge their reaction. If I feel like I'm still not 100% certain with how the song is being received, I'll start playing it for more people. And just to get random bouts of feedback, that
Okay.
usually helps me make up my mind. And then once like, for example, there's some songs where I'll play for a group of people and it will be a bit of a mixture of you. So I already know that when I do release it on a larger scale,
Hmm.
the chances are it's going to be a bit mixed. Whereas, for example, like with I Don't Want to Wait, when I played that for people,
Yeah.
I already knew that song was the song I needed to go with because everybody kind of gave me the same feedback and the same reaction.
Yeah.
So you get to see patterns in people's behavior when you play them songs, and that helps me through
Yeah.
the years. So that's what I do.
And then you also, whether it's on social media or on shows, you like to do covers of songs. How do you decide
Yeah.
which covers you want to do? Is it some of your favorite songs? And how can we put requests in for covers, not asking for me?
Asking for a friend, eh?
Yeah, no, it's not for me. No, definitely.
It's not for you, man. It's not for you. So pretty much what I do is if you follow me on the socials, on Insta and all that jazz, I usually ask my, what you call it, my fan base there, like on a story, on a post, what kind of songs you want me to cover. And
Okay.
then I'll release the cover. I'll like spend some time on my laptop. I'll spice up the cover. And if I feel like this is a really good cover, like it almost feels like it's one of my own songs, then I'll do one of those in my shows.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I used to do so many covers, but now in my shows, there's not really too many. I've got enough material to do a full show of my own songs, which is great, which is what every
Yeah.
artist wants to do. So
Yeah.
I'm doing that now. But you can always just DM me, slide into the DMs, be like, "Hello, Lee, I want you to do a cover," and you let me know what it is, and I'll get to work. And if it works, it works.
All right. I've got a list. So, should do you prefer one message or single ones? Because I've got a couple.
You can just draw them along, man. I'll look through them and I'll get to work when I need to get to work, and I'll see if anything connects for sure.
And then, is there a piece of advice that you were given, whether it's early in the career, late in the career, that stuck with you forever? And can you remember who said it to you?
Sure. Um, a lot of people through the years have told me things that I think to myself, wow, like, this is incredible. That you
Hmm.
remember, you never forget. But the one piece of advice that I have is like one of one day when I'm old, I'll get it tattooed on me. But it's one of my favorite sayings. I don't know where I heard it or if I made it up or if someone told me. I can't actually remember. But the saying is basically only those who believe in magic will find it.
Okay. So
If you
that's so that
understand what I'm saying.
so
So
that's where
with these kind
the
of
Mhm.
say again,
No,
sorry.
no, I'm saying so that's where your inspiration for magic came from for your disappearance last year, right?
Of course, the Houdini-esque traits are always there. They're always there. But it's just it's a saying that says whatever you want to do, if it's a career, if it's something that you want, you're only going to get there if you believe you're going to get there.
Yeah.
So, and that's what the saying's about. And especially in a career like music or acting or careers that the percentage of success is so small, like soccer, golf, all
Hmm.
these high risk, high reward kind of careers. Um, you're only going to get there. You're only going to find that magic if you believe it. It will only present itself to you if you really truly believe that you'll get there and have it. So, I love that quote and that saying, and it's held true to my career so far. So,
Yeah.
I definitely say
And then going back throughout your career, I want to say you've gone through many phases, I think. So you first started with your first name, Leandro. You first started with him.
yes,
Then you went
yeah.
into a duo called Ro, and now, of course, you are Lee Cole. How do you feel each of those phases have helped you become who you are today?
They've all helped me become who I am today, man. I think every phase that I went through was that chapter of my life and of my career. Um, and it's weird, is like that's the funny thing, right? About like success and failure is that back then I could look at those chapters as failures because nothing really came of those chapters.
Hmm.
And at the time, I would have felt terrible that maybe road didn't work out, or when I started out under my own name, that stuff didn't work out. I could have felt terrible. But that's the funny thing about life and about this journey, about pursuing something you love, is that sometimes you think you're gonna take a fat L, and these L's that you're taking, all these closed doors that life is presenting you, are actually helping you to eventually open a door that you're supposed to go through.
Yeah.
And you don't see it at the time, but
Hmm.
bro, when I started out, all these things kind of shaped Lee Cole today, and Lee Cole is where I'm supposed to be. But if I don't know if I would have been as great a Lee Cole if I didn't have those experiences to kind of
Yeah.
bump my head a bit and learn a lot of things. So yeah.
No. And then Arsenal, any silverware this season,
Yeah,
or
oh, for
is
sure,
it
for sure.
you want to?
I'm holding thumbs, bro. I'm supporting cautiously, like should I
Yeah.
say? Um, you never know with my football club. I don't know. I don't know where their heads at sometimes. But lately we've been doing great. I'm not gonna jinx it.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep hoping until the end as long as we keep putting these performances. But it's looking good so far. It's looking good
Yeah.
so far.
And then I want to talk about social media almost before we say goodbye. You've got quite a decent following, specific on Instagram, over 70K followers. And I would imagine with having so many people know who you are, it can maybe sort of attract one or two, I don't want to say funny people, but kind of
Yeah.
I think maybe funny people could be a nice way to put it. Do you have any like any stories like that that maybe got a little bit, whoa, this is a little bit much?
Um. Hmm.
Trying to think which one to say talk about.
Yeah, yeah, no. Look, there's definitely dodgy stories and stuff like that. I have a couple of stories about stalkers and maybe just chat about the most recent time. I was in Cape Town and someone, you know, brought it to my attention that there was a fake account on Instagram kind of imitating me and following my followers and I was just like, oh man, now, now I know I've made it, when
Yeah.
someone from some strange corner of the earth is starting to copy everything I do. I'm like, that's pretty weird, but I'll take it. So yeah, you get these stuff, but the important thing for me is just, man, when people like, and just goes for like stalkers or weird messages or hate comments or whatever.
Mhm.
It's just social media, um, and you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, and you've got to be mentally stronger than that. Otherwise, you're going to crumble from the inside out, and that's not very good.
No, of course. And then just before we leave, there's this little game I want to play, and I'm sort of going to be putting you on the spot here. What I've done is I've gathered 5 of your songs, right? I don't think you and I've played this before.
Okay.
I don't think you and I have
No,
done
no,
this
no.
before. I've gathered 5 of your songs, right? I've mixed them up, and I want you to blindly rank them on a scale of 1 to 5 from your favorite. Once you put a song
Okay.
there, you can't move it.
Okay. Okay.
So we're gonna start with your one called "Honey Let Me In." Where are we gonna put him from a scale of 1 to 5?
Oof. Let's put Honey Let Me In fourth.
Number 4. Okay, so you say he's
By
well,
the way,
he's
so is one best and for five
yes,
worst or
yeah.
five best?
One's your favorite, 5 is like not necessarily your least favorite, but out of the
Okay.
5, it's
In
the least.
order.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's put Honey Let Me In fourth.
All right, and then we're gonna go with your more recent one before "Blind," with or without you.
Yeah. Let's put that on five.
Number 5. Okay, so we got the top 3 open for the last 3. Our next one, "Do You Still Care?"
Put that three.
Number 3. All right. So we got 1 or 2 left. The next one, emotional, 1 or 2.
Two.
So, well, that's actually good because you saved, in my opinion, your best one for last. So that's actually good. The last one, Pink Dragons, would go at number 1. You happy with the
Yeah,
list?
that
Or
would that would go number one for sure.
well,
No, I'm not with the list. I didn't obviously didn't know what songs would come. So this is just a good one. Yeah, I think ultimately I'd put Pink Dragons. Pink Dragons, emotional, honey let me in, with or without you, do you still care?
okay. Well, number 1 is the correct answer. So I'm glad
Good
that was
answer.
the
It is
right
the
one.
correct answer.
And then, where are we able to find you on social media, and where can we stream your stuff?
Yeah, it's on Legal Music, at Legal Music, pretty much everywhere. And then my music's available on Spotify, Apple Music, the whole bunch. So whatever you love, whatever you want to connect to and use, it's all up to you.
And then, before we say goodbye, is there anything else you would like to mention or chat about that we haven't yet spoken about today?
No, just coming at my next two shows. They'll be in April, on the 4th of April at Deep Blowhorn in Pretoria, and on the 27th of April at Copper Bar in Bryanston, Stanton. So come through. It's going to be amazing. It always is. And I'll get to be playing some more of this new music I've been chatting about.
Well, there we go. Thank you very much for taking some time out today to chat to us on Featured on the Wireless.
Thank you for having me, man. I'll see you on the next one.
That's only a pleasure.